So grateful for Thanksgiving. Thankful for you. Thankful for the opportunity we have to have these conversations. And today, really zeroing in on the midst of challenging times in which we live, the need for gratitude. And I want to turn now to kind of the practical side of this. Not that we need the science to back up what God says, but guess what? It does. For Christian parents, raising our children to possess a spirit of gratitude, I believe is among our highest callings. That, we're to teach them to follow God, to be grateful for what God has given us. And this is something that constantly working with our children. Of course, my children, most of them are now in their adult years, and they're grateful kids. And I'm grateful for that. And we've done this quite a bit, is that we take time around the Thanksgiving table just to talk about, and we don't do it just at Thanksgiving. We do it at other times, just to either speak a blessing on one of the others in the family, or just to say what we're thankful for. And I think we have to be intentional. Sometimes we just life gets so busy that we miss those moments and we don't think about it. So we have to plan these things, and we've been pretty intentional about that in our home, of doing things that put these building blocks into the lives of our children. And I want to talk about this more with Dr. Giacomo Bono. He is a professor at Cal State, and he is the co-author of Making Grateful Kids, The Science of Building Character. I think it's fascinating. Giacomo, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, you've been doing research on this. This isn't just a feel-good book that you wrote. It is actually based upon research. And you have developed 8 strategies related to this. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So my focus has been on the interpersonal aspects of gratitude. So how we practice it with other people, how we exchange thanks. And it turns out that it's much more than practicing gratitude is more complex, or there's so many ways to do it that it's actually quite impressive, the different ways we can experience it. We can be grateful for a thing, right, or pets, or people, or even for having a relationship in our lives, or for having a group that we belong to, right? So, which is especially important for young people who are, discovering who they are by their interactions with groups and involvement in different community activities with other kids. So anyway, it's truly there's so many ways to practice it, and what we're finding is that it's much more than about feeling good and feeling happy and feeling joy, which is of course wonderful, and we always want to have more of that in our lives every day. But it's much more deeper than that. It's and earlier you were talking about cultivating spirituality and connection to God, and gratitude really is a strength, a virtue of connection to something bigger and something more benevolent in the world. And when we practice it, we bring in meaning into our life that we then act on, and we do become more intentional by practicing gratitude.
And gratitude is actually something that's shared. Not only do we benefit from being grateful, but we enrich the lives of others through our gratefulness.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's that's another aspect that I really admire of gratitude, is that it's very visible when you practice it, especially with other people, as opposed to just reflecting in a journal privately. But when you practice it with other people, it can inspire others and sort of share the meaning of those positive exchanges that you have with others. It could share that meaning with others, and others can feel, more hope, that there's more hope in the world, or that there are good people out there, and that it's worth trying to be a better person and trying to help each other, because that's what makes life better when we work together.
So, Dr. Bono, are there byproducts of gratitude that we experience? You said it's not just about feeling good, but are there other byproducts that flow from a spirit of gratitude?
Yeah, it's and let me know, because I could go on for a while. It's on this topic. The research just continues to find other outcomes, beneficial outcomes as that come from practicing gratitude. So, for instance, some of the latest work that's quite interesting is it shows that practicing gratitude is makes us more honest and less likely to lie and less likely to cheat, which is definitely something we could use more of in this world, with the amount of misinformation, and it's, there is good to have a foundation in truth and honesty. So gratitude contributes to that, and which helps build trust in human relationships and communities. So definitely we need more of that. Other surprising consequences of gratitude are that it makes us more helpful to others. We are more kind to others. It seems that it basically not only, we are grateful when other people are kind to us, but it turns out that it also makes us more kind to others as well. And so we're not only more likely to reciprocate to people we're grateful for, but we're also more likely to help other people. So it spreads, our kindness spreads. And then another outcome to answer that last question that gratitude can lead to, that you might not expect at first, is that it makes us more motivated and intrinsically motivated and energized. And this is one of the things that I'm finding with my intervention research, is that practicing gratitude also drives us to search for purpose and to look for meaning, and to try to be a better person. So it seems to be connected to self-discipline as well, and sort of a bigger picture for your life, acting on larger goals and motives.
Are there physical benefits to gratitude?
And of course, there's also that as well. We could look to the research looking at physiological effects, and one of the things that we know is that when we are grateful, it helps our cardiovascular function. So there's a coherence, not just mental, but physiological as well, a coherence that gets instilled in us when we are grateful, such that we're more resilient. We're able to bounce back from a challenge and be able to find a positive angle, and we have more energy, rather than giving up on the world and blaming others for problems. We have more energy to take their perspective and to be a little bit more thoughtful in our judgments of others.
Does it help burn calories too, so I can eat another helping of that pecan pie?
I suppose it could, if it's intellectually stimulating, and it gets your brain working. I'm sure you could start using up the glucose and burning some calories.
Maybe it's why we're supposed to give thanks before we eat. Maybe that helps. I don't know.
That's right.
Before we run out of time, Dr. Bono, what are some very practical steps to cultivating gratitude?
Yeah. I think some the challenge for us humans is that we're wired in a sense to identify problems and to address negative aspects, so that hopefully we can prevent them from happening. And so one of the challenges that humans have in terms of practicing gratitude is that we have to go against this wiring of our brain to focus on positive things, because what happens is when we're in a good mood, we just want to sort of be in that state and enjoy it. We're not very analytical. And so one of the things that you want to do is just to remember to practice it, and to be looking for good things and challenging ourselves to to see the positive aspects in the people that we interact with. And so it's about becoming habitual in this practice and just remembering to do
that
it.
that requires intentionality, as I was talking about earlier. Thankfulness doesn't just happen. We have to pursue it.
Right, because the day takes over with different urgencies that we're addressing. And, what we're talking about is going to a higher level of meaning and putting our attention on that so that we can realize and feel the goodness in our life. And we have to be intentional about it and develop that habit and, setting reminders, for example, to just give some practical strategies.
I mean, gratitude interjected into our family relationships. Let's just start right there in the 5 minutes we've got left.
Yeah.
But that can really, I mean, that could be a dynamic that can change a home just by interjecting that gratitude in there.
Yeah, that's right. I always like to say when people, when I would do interviews, especially around my book, they want to know what the magic answer is. And the closest thing I can get to a magic answer is sort of along the lines of what you just said. When we practice gratitude with other people and we talk about it, what we're doing is we're opening up a window into the things that matter to us. And we're discussing challenges and sorry about the calls. We're discussing challenges and we're discussing goals and motives, things that we're reaching for in our lives. And so by practicing gratitude, we're opening up the window to the things that we want in our lives.
So talk about the book for just a moment, how folks can find this, Making Grateful Kids, The Science of Building Character, which is focused on that gratitude, building that gratitude in our children.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And it's for parents and teachers, anybody, pastors, coaches, anybody who mentors young people. And by young people, I think a lot of the principles in the book can be practiced with, starting at age 3 and 4. As soon as kids start to talk, so yeah, it's for anybody who's mentoring and interacting with kids and helping young people develop. So that's the audience of the book, and they're all practical strategies you can practice every day.
All right, so I'm going to throw you a curveball here, Giacomo, on the way out. Last question. It's Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for?
Yes, I'm an easy one that's constant in life, especially as we get older, is my health, right, and our health and the health of people in my family. And it just takes one incident where somebody, a loved one is not healthy to realize that that's just a blessing that we always have. You can always start your day that way.
Yeah.
And grateful for being a professor and that I get to shape young minds and hopefully make them a little bit more constructive about how they're going to improve the world, but more hopeful so that they could dream big and be better in this world so that, we all benefit. And I'm grateful for my job and that I get to work with students and mentor them and really apply this work that I love to do, that I could focus on what I love in my job and have that purpose and passion in a job.
Well, we are thankful that you joined us today to share this with us, and we look forward to having another conversation with you about the power of gratitude. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much, and you as well, and to the audience out there, have a joyous Thanksgiving.
All right, thanks so much.